going to take the derivative of the sine. It's going to bring back all kinds of great memories. Cocoa CC, all kinds of good things. So we're going to do this. We're going to use the definition of slope, which turns into derivative here. The derivative is the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h. Now, normally, we'd take a really nasty formula, but all we have is sine here, sine of x plus h. Then we're going to subtract the function f of x all over h. That looks pretty straightforward, right? Please write it down so then you have this in your records. So now, I remember a ways back that we could take the sine of two things added together in the function. Do you remember how to expand that? C co. If this is plus, this will be a plus. Co C. And then it'll be minus sine of x. So all I did there is I just expanded this part here. It looks crazy, but it's just secant cosine. Then I take the limit as h approaches 0, and I'm gonna mix the order up. I'm gonna put these two together. Why? You're gonna see. Sine of x cosine h minus sine of x. Putting that together with cosine x sine of h all over h. The next grouping is going to help you the most in seeing what I'm going to do next. I'm going to take the limit as h goes to 0, and I'm going to take out a what out of these two terms? Sine of x. And that's going to give me something kind of familiar looking. And then this will be plus cosine x times sine h. Now this is all over h, but because it's added, I could, is 1/2 plus 1/2 equal to 2/2? Or 1/3 plus 4/3, is that 5/3? So could I go backwards and say, or I guess it'd be forwards, I'm going to split each of these into 2 over h and over h. Still all over h, but I'm splitting them up with the plus sign. Now I'm getting excited because we're getting toward the end here. What is the limit as cosine h minus 1 over h? What does that go to? 0. And what does sine h over h go to as h goes to 0? 1. So this leaves me the derivative of sine of x is going to be sine of x times 0 plus cosine of x times 1, and anything times 0 is 0. You're going to get, what's the derivative of sine of x? Cosine of x. And I don't know about you, but I get these mixed up sometimes. Get mixed up? Sometimes I do. So here's how I keep them straight. Here's a drawing of the sine of x. Okay. What's the slope at 0? The slope at 0 is 1, isn't it? So what's the cosine of 0? 1. So therefore, for sine of x, if you have f of x equal to sine of x, the derivative has to be equal to what? Has to be equal to 1. So think of, that's kind of how I keep track of it, is that the derivative of sine is cosine because I need the slope to be 1. and that's what the cosine of 0 is. Now, when we do the derivative of cosine, you're going to see, you know, things are going to get a little crazier. You're going to get the slope of 0, but it's also going to be the opposite. But we'll get to that right now. This, I'd like you to be your assignment for tomorrow. So I'm assigning you this one on your own. You've got the little bits here still. This is still 1, and this is still 0. And you've got the setup. But this is, I want you to prove this for tomorrow.